Hi, everybody. Eva here. I am so excited to be here with you guys. Hopefully, we're going to see me, hear me. I'm here for a really great session. Let me start my phone here because I'm simulcasting in a few different platforms to save myself some time. So hello and welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about one-to-one, one-to-many, or hybrid programs, and which one should you be running. So do me a favor so that I'm not talking to myself, guys. This is my session number 7 I'm teaching today. I'm very excited, but I really want to engage with you guys. So let me know if you're watching here. Number 1, I want you to click the StreamYard link above and give StreamYard permission so that I can see your name and tell me where you're joining from. I'm so excited to connect with you guys. We had day 1 of our scale retreat, which is a lot of fun. Okay, somebody says hi, but I don't know who you are because you didn't click the link. So this is kind of what happens with StreamYard. Oh, Jennifer, hi. Hello to Cleveland, Ohio. Carrie Ann, I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name, but hello. All right, Kristen. Hi, good to see you guys. So let's have a very productive, about 25-minute session. We're going to wrap out at 3:30 Central. Wyoming, Australia, amazing. And I'm going to give you the download of one-to-one versus one-to-many versus, traditional group programs, and what are the kind of the elements of the program that you should be thinking of, pricing, that kind of thing. All right. By the way, feel free to pop your questions in the chat. I'll see them here. And if I have time to cover them, I absolutely will. And if not, we'll connect with you in the back end and cover your questions later. But for those of you guys who are joining me for the very first time, just a quick intro. My name is Eva with an I, Eva Palekova. I help coaches and consultants and, healers and all those wonderful people go to 6 and 7 figures, just to do it with a lot of passion. We run an unbelievable incubator. We do that very quickly. People are filling their hybrid, mostly, programs with lots and lots of people and closing, $50, $100 and more $1,000 in their first, 6 and 7 weeks. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of that and how that works and all that. Awesome. All right. So I just want to cover some questions that we get about one-to-one versus one-to-many. So first off, let's talk about this. Like, should you launch one-to-one or one-to-many or a hybrid program? So the answer is this. It really depends where you are, what stage you are in your business. When you're first launching, go get a few pro bono clients, get some one-on-one clients. It doesn't even matter at what price point. Don't stress yourself out thinking, okay, I have to charge $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for my first few clients, because that's just not realistic. You're getting some practice. You're getting some clients under your belt. So go get some clients, get some practice, get some testimonials, and really focus on giving value to people and transforming their lives, right? Now, as soon as you have your first 5 to 10 clients and you feel confident, okay, I know what I'm doing, I can give them the transformation, then you need to think about where you want to go with your business. If the answer is, and there's no right size fits all answer. If the answer is, you know what, I just want to serve a few really high ticket clients, and I want to work very few hours, and I want to make sure I have time for my grandkids or whatever, and I don't have these dreams of creating a 7 or 8 figure empire, then you're going to be okay with one-to-one. Now, I will say this though, you will still have to be on camera, do all the marketing, show up. There's no difference, right? In all the marketing and sales you have to do, right? In fact, it's probably easier to launch a group program on that end. So it's not going to be oh my goodness, it's going to be easy. I'm just going to pick up clients here and there, right? So you're still going to have to put yourself out there. You're still going to have to go live, do your events and this and that, okay? But, if your goal is to scale beyond 6 figures, which I don't want to tell you what your goal should be, but think about it from this perspective. If you're going to make 6 figures revenue, that means you're going to probably make $52,000 profit, okay? And so think about it from that perspective. Most of you are probably going to want to go past 6 figures to multi-6, then you need to start thinking about a group program. because one-to-one, depending on who you serve, you're just not going to be able to charge enough. And I want you to do the math for yourself for a minute, right? So if you're like, okay, I'm going to charge 150 or 180 bucks an hour, right? You'll have about 10 to 12 hours a week to serve your people because you have a business to run. You have your lead generation to do. You have your lead nurture to do. You have your business to run, systems, blah, 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 right? So you're going to have about 10 to 12 hours a week with the full-time entrepreneurship to coach your people, okay? So now if you charge your 150 to 200 bucks an hour, right, then you're going to get limited very, very quickly. Okay. Now, if you can charge a lot more than that, and I'm talking no less than $400, $500 an hour, then it makes sense. And you don't have like huge income goals, then like you might be okay with one-to-one. Okay. I hope I'm making sense here. Right. Hi, Carolyn. So good to see you too. Hi, Nisi. Hi, Miranda. So good to see you guys. So for those of you who want to go to multi-six, right, divided by 2 to get the profit, right? And 7 figures to get divided by 2 to get to profit, right? You really want to think group programs. And it's integrity group, I want to say group or hybrid, right? I really, really love hybrid. And I think about it from integrity standpoint. And I talk about this all the time. For me, doing one-to-one coaching will have no integrity at this point because for me, you know, teaching somebody how to grow their business, there's just so much that I have to deliver to get them the best result I possibly can. That means they need the support, the guidance, the coaching, the training, the accountability several times a week. If I try to do that one-on-one, it's just not going to go. And I tried to. And into one-to-one coaching, it just didn't work, right? Because I couldn't physically give them the time and the attention they actually needed to get them the best results I possibly could. Were they getting results? Sure. Were they getting the results that I really wanted them to get, the best results they could? No. Okay. That all changes, or all of it changed once we launched a group program. And for me, it was honestly a necessity decision too, because I launched a program literally, and you guys know I'm a single mom, right? To a 13-month-old now. And I literally launched the program a week and a half before I had her, because I was like, okay, there is no way I'm going to be doing one-to-one coaching and having a baby and all that jazz. Okay. Best decision ever. Just really, really amazing decision for me and my business and my clients. And just the results that are getting, it's not even a match. It's not even a same realm. Okay. So that kind of, I hope that kind of answers the question, should I do a one-to-one to one-to-many? I want to say, like, start, get whatever clients you can at the beginning. Just don't feel like you have to charge a lot. Just go build your confidence and then raise your price with every single client you get, right? And then as soon as you can, as soon as you get a handle on it, right? Make sure that you are transitioning them into a group or a hybrid program. So let's talk about the group versus a hybrid program. I do not like membership and courses, all right? That is because I don't think they deliver their transformation. I don't think they deliver their transformation. And they're actually harder to sell. Cheap courses are actually harder to sell than, you know, hybrid, higher price programs. And I know this because I will give you a good example. I have a friend, and I launched this course that I worked on for 3 months. There was so much in it. It was like the best course ever. Everything you could possibly ever want to know about your business was in there. It was $57 a month. And she told me she didn't have the money. She didn't have the budget for it. She couldn't sign up. And then she wound up in my $8,000 program, right? So it's literally, and I did so much to launch this course and nobody was buying. And then we launched a group program that, you know, we launched it at 6,000 and then we doubled that within the first year. And literally it was so much easier to get people in there, right? So there's no, like, people try to launch these cheap courses and they find out, they start running ads to them and they find out it's so difficult to make the conversion work. And it's not for a lack of trying. Jay and I literally spent weeks and weeks and weeks testing Facebook ads, testing the funnel, like working on the copy. And I can do those things. Jay can do those things. We can do tech if we need to, right? We don't enjoy it, but we do it if we need to. Well, I should be speaking for myself. She probably enjoys it. I don't. But it is so difficult to sell it because people already know this. People are already over courses and memberships. They just don't deliver the difference, especially the shorter one. Okay. So with the hybrid programs, I really love group programs that have a one-to-one component for many reasons. And I want to just give you in a nutshell what I shared in our workshop just earlier today in our Scale Retreat. I want to share with you just in a nutshell what we talked about. As you're structuring your group program, you really want to make sure that it is the best program in the world for delivering transformation for your niche, okay? And this is a commitment. This is like totally about being the best, and this is about really serving your clients, and this is totally about putting your butt on the line and saying, I'm going to create the best, most amazing program that is actually going to deliver the transformation, because we all know there's a lot of courses and memberships and out there that just don't do that, right? And that is because they have something missing, right? They have an element missing, all right? So, I tend to attract people who really committed to like really serving their clients. And it always, like when you give, you're allowed to receive. When you serve, it's going to come back to you multiple times in your business, right? So I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with our client success, and we will stop at little and nothing to get them the results and to include the elements in the program that we need to get them those results. So I'm going to run you through in the next 5 minutes. You want to grab pen and paper and really think about this, right? I want to run you through some of the things to think about when you're structuring your hybrid program. All right. So number one, you need to provide some teaching, right? Yes, you're a coach, but you need to provide some leadership. You need to tell them why you have them do what you have them do. What is it going to do for them? Really vision cast, really paint the future. What does it look like for them? That sort of thing, right? Because if you don't inspire them and then you do like a bunch of meditation exercises, but you don't inspire them into what that's going to do for them, it's just, they're not going to be excited about it. They're not going to show up. It's like we're doing work for the sake of work, right? So really the teaching, the leadership element is pretty important. The second thing that everybody misses is the training component. And this is very different from teaching. And this, I realized that when I watched how fast our team members were moving in comparison to how fast our clients were moving. Because we were doing not just the teaching, but we're doing the training for our team. And we're doing some training, but most of the teaching in our program. And I was like, oh my God, we need to include more training. And actually, we're right now in the process of restructuring our entire program to provide more training. So what does that look like? You need to make actually sure whatever you're having your clients do in your program, they're actually practicing. They're actually doing the thing. They're actually, if you teach meditation or emotional release, they're actually doing their emotional release, right? If you're teaching them how to do sales, they're actually practicing sales conversations or discovery sessions or connect calls or whatever. If your program is around public speaking, they're actually practicing pitching on camera, right? Or pitching to, a group of audience or structuring the offer, whatever it is. There's constant practicing, constant training. If you're coaching on communication, they're practicing their conversations, their listening skills, they're being trained, because that's different from teaching. If the transformation is just based on information, then Google and YouTube would be enough for everybody, wouldn't it? But that's not what delivers the transformation. So think about what kind of hands-on practice, and I'm talking co-working sessions, I'm talking about practicing, I'm talking about role plays, you can actually provide in the program. All right. Then there's the coaching component, right? Then there's like, okay, they tried, it worked or it didn't, right? You can give them coaching, right? They tried to have that conversation with their spouse, right? And it didn't go. Now let's look at this. Let's look at this together, right? But you're going to get them transformation 10 times faster if you actually put them into action. Am I making sense, you guys? Give me a 1 in the chat if this is making sense to you guys. This is so important, right? Then there's the coaching. There's the accountability, which is where the one-to-one component comes in, and they have a session with your coach once a month or with you once a month for 20, 30 minutes, something like that, or, touch points or check-ins or whatever, right? And then there is the last component, which is celebrating the results, right? It's like sharing the success all the time, because the human mind unaided will always say, oh my gosh, I'm not doing so great, I'm like struggling here, I'm not doing I only had 3 people watching my live today, blah 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 blah. But hang on, you just got 3 people to sign up for a consult with you or whatever, right? So you need to make sure they're celebrating, because as they start realizing that they're making progress, right, they'll feel better about being in the program in the first place, but they'll also attract better results, right? Because the human mind will flip. Okay. So that's kind of the components of the program. Now, how do you price your hybrid program? And I just covered that in detail. And by the way, in the Serve Retreat that you guys are all registered for, hopefully, is there anybody who's not registered for Serve Retreat? We're going to dive into more detail about this, okay? But your pricing really depends on what you're trying to do in the program. There is generally 3 different price points, 3 different tiers, okay? All right. Jennifer says yes. And Carrie Ann says yes. Awesome. So there's 3 different price points, right? One is below $400. That's your courses and memberships. As I already shared with you, I'm not all about that. I don't teach it. I just, no. We're all about life transforming programs that really, really deliver the transformation. I just shared with you the 5 components, right? Courses have none of that. They have the teaching, that's it. They don't have the other 4 components. Therefore, very low chance at delivering success. Okay, so that's the problem with it. Okay, and also below the $400 a month price point, you're really attracting, price-based decision makers, right? Somebody who's wanting to buy the cheapest solution and so on and so forth. And with that, is going to come their level of commitment, right? If you're charging $100 a month, you're not going to have a large people showing up and actually doing the work, right? That's just the human nature, right? Because they're like, yeah, sure, it's going to be easier decision to make, right? It's going to be easy to get them in. Well, maybe not. You shouldn't say that, because it was terribly hard to sell a $57 course, right? It was harder than my much, much, much higher price program, obviously, right? But it's going to be harder just to get them to show up. Anyhow, then you go from the 400 to about 900. That's kind of like your lower to mid-end price programs. And it's like, okay to start there, right? If you're launching your very first group program and you don't have a lot of client testimonials and you're transitioning your one-to-ones to one-to-many, like it's okay to start within this price range, okay? And then climb your way up. And the higher you go, you have to, you have to have some, when you go over $800-900, you need to have some customer stories, you need to have some social proof, yada, 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 right? You want to have some testimonials on camera, stuff like that. You also want to be niched down enough, right? Where you're solving a very specific pain point that is like really strong enough. It's not like nice to have program. It's like a very specific pain point, right? So, it's like really, really this thing that they cannot live without solving, right? And the more specific you go, and the better you know their price, their pain points, the higher you can go. So it's all about positioning, okay? So that's kind of on the pricing, and we're going to go into it in the Serve Retreat quite a bit more. How do you launch a hybrid program? How do you get everybody to show up at once for session 1, right? And that was my biggest issue for years. And I wasn't launching it. I'm like, how am I gather? Like, I'm like hard enough time finding a person over here, a person over there to like do private coaching with me. How in the world am I going to gather these troops to all start at the same time, right? And I'm like, I don't know about this. Like, it's going to be like one person and they're going to come in. They're going to be like, where's everybody else, right? So I wasn't doing anything with it, right? So I was just like, okay, someday maybe I'm going to have a group program. And then really it was just, becoming a single mom. I was like, okay, it's happening now. I need a group program. I don't have time for one-to-one coaching. And I also like really want to love what I do. And at that point I was a little bit bored with one-on-one, right? So here's what you do. You use what we teach, which is 7-day retreats to fill your program. Okay. Yes, you're going to be getting people in outside of that, right? Before, after, whatever. But we really, really love that for launching. And you can use that for launching anything. If you want, you can use that for launching your membership or course. If that's right for you, you can use that for launching your one-to-one, right? And really building your brand. They're unbelievable, right? We now have, I'm going to say like over 1,000 people registered and about 800 people in the group, in the Serve group. For the next one, we're going to have about 2,000 registrations. Now, our first one, we had 37 registrations, okay? Didn't go so well, but it was fine. We had about 7,000 in revenue, and then we tripled or doubled every single time since then. So it didn't go perfectly, excuse me, but they were a lot of fun, and they really allow you to make a difference with a lot of people and really build your brand and really, really serve people. And, people get transformation whether or not they join your program, right? It's your brand, right? We got, even from the people like last time, people who didn't end up joining our program after the retreat, we got tons of referrals from them. And, they're still engaged. They're like, there's people who are like already pre-booked for the next launch of our program. We have a wait list now. It's just amazing. Okay. So it's you showing up. That's why I love these retreats, showing up and teaching 7 days straight and giving your absolute best. It's going to build your brand. It's going to make a lot of difference. And whether or not people join, it just kind of becomes like, if you did a good job and you served and you gave a lot of like non-fluff, and you gave, you gave them transformation already, why would they not want to work with you, sort of thing, right? So, then it's just a question of, money and objections and figuring out the right time for me and so on and so forth, right? And, the support systems that they have and so on. So that's how you launch. Now you get affiliate retreats with people. And again, we're going to talk about this on day 4 of our retreat. We're going to spend an entire day talking about the 5 ways to fill your retreat. So lots of fun to be had there, right? I will just tell you, we, now we do a lot of Facebook ads, obviously, right? Because it makes it easier. For this next retreat, we're doing about 1,400 registration through Facebook ads, about 700 organic, right? So it's literally just going out there, going in Instagram, going into Facebook groups, networking with people, asking for referrals, tons of things like that. Still important, right? But we don't have to. We just like to, practice so that we can teach, because a lot of our clients don't have, $5,000-$10,000 Facebook ad budget to fill their retreat. Actually, most don't when they first start, right? So we do that. But, for our first, 6 events, 5 events, I'm going to say, we didn't spend a dime on Facebook ads, or maybe like $30, and we tried and it didn't work. I'm like, okay, never mind, next time. So I myself, this is what I did like every single day, and it's not fun. It's very boring. But here's the thing: it got us to our first 100K month. Okay, I literally just went and I sent invitations and I followed people. And I wait for them to follow me back. Then I send them an invitation. And then I went to Facebook groups and people friended me and I sent them an invitation. It was so boring. And I was doing it when I was breastfeeding. Then I gave it to my nanny to do on her own account, not pretending to be me, but on her own account. It's very manual. And, in the world of business, it's like, on Instagram, it's just like was very much appreciated. Lots of people like found us because they get a personal invitation from me to our 7-day retreats. And that's how we did it. That's how we filled it. And I recommend the same thing to anybody. Same thing to anybody till today, until you have until you have a budget for ads. So just really, really love that. And, people get stuck and like, no, I don't want to bother people. But here's the thing. Yeah, you're going to bother some people. Sure. I'm sure there are like, I can count on fingers of one hand the times I got some like annoyed messages back, like, don't annoy me with your invitations, right? But I'm not selling them on anything. You know what I mean? I send a customized, nice message. Hey, I love your content. And, I'd love for you a part of our group, and we're doing an amazing 7-day retreat, come, and we're solving XYZ problem for you, come, right? And I can literally count on fingers on one hand, people, it was probably like 2 people. And I probably sent close to, I hate to tell you, because you're gonna be like, get me out of here. But I probably sent like 6 or 7 or more. I don't know. It was thousands of messages, but it was literally like, I was running outside. I was doing that. But you know what? I was a single mom. I didn't have any money saved up. I knew this needs to happen. And then I gave it to my nanny. Obviously, I don't do that anymore because I don't have time for it, right? Because I lead a team, and my team is doing sales and lead gen and all that, right? But, at the beginning, that's all I did. And that's, and if you're really committed and to going to 6 and 7 figures and you don't have the budget, that's okay. That's okay. You can do that, right? It's just going to take pushing through some of this, like, I don't want to do that, and doing it anyway, right? And it just, the magic of it is that it literally gives you full control of your business, full control. That's the beauty of it. It's a little bit boring, I'm not gonna lie, right? But that's how we filled it. So, and we're gonna give you the details in the retreat. You're gonna learn quite a bit. Okay, our last thing I want to touch base on, I see a lot of people transitioning. Excuse me, let me get a sip of water real quick. From one-to-one to one-to-many, and they're trying to transition, but people are just not saying yes, right? What's that about, right? People are like, can I just be in your one-to-one program? I'm curious if anybody on this call has had this. Like, yeah, Karen says bootstrapping, exactly. Yeah. So, you want your group program, but like people are like, yeah, but I'll just work with you. Can I just work with you privately? And I had the same issue. I had the same problem, right? And then I was just like, I'm just going to offer this person in one-to-one and not my group program because I know they're going to say yes to that. But I kept myself stuck in this thing, right? And it wasn't until I created and designed the program that I actually knew and believed, like for me, it was very clear and very flat that the one-to-one was a bad idea for these people compared to what I was offering over here. It was a bad idea. I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Yes, I'm an amazing coach, and don't do it. This is better. This is better because I have the best structure in place that is going to really, really guarantee that you can get results versus this thing over here. I just don't have enough time to meet with you. I can't meet. In our group program, we literally now do 7 sessions a week, and we're adding more. And it's not that our clients on all of those, right? But we have different topics available. It's not that I teach all of it. I teach 3 of them, right? But I could not physically teach all this one-to-one. It's not possible, right? It's like the week would have to have about 1,200 hours for me to do that or something like that, right? So anyway, so that's it in a nutshell, okay? You have to, and if I told you it's just a mindset, you'd be like, yeah, but how, right? You have to design the program that you actually believe in. Once you believe in it and you're going to your potential client and you're saying, yeah, this is the program that I know is the best program for you. And yeah, you can do one-on-one, but it's not going to get you the results that you're looking for. And if you want to work with me one-on-one on top of that, you can. It's just going to be like X, Y, and Z per hour, right? That's the flip. That's the flip, right? So yes, it's a mindset flip, but you also have to structure the program that is really going to work. And by the way, day 1 of the Surf Retreat, which starts on the 22nd. Anybody excited about this? So excited. We're so close. We're so close. Less than 2 weeks away. We're going to cover that. You're going to have your worksheet, right? Where you're going to fill in, and you're going to work on your program. We're going to break you into a work group. You're going to work with your partner, figure out what your program is. You're going to brainstorm. I'm going to give you the tools. We're going to talk about, onboarding, all that jazz. So you have a lot to look forward to. 3:31. We gotta run. We're doing one more live after this. By the way, if there's anybody here who is like, okay, I'd love to talk with you about how we can work together. You want to make sure, I don't know if we can put, let's put a consult link. Let's put a consult link in these groups so you guys can sign up. We do a free 20-minute consult when we're going to look at exactly what it is that is not having you be successful with launching a group program. So we're going to do some diagnosis, with our team. Make sure you pick whoever you're connected to, be it Jay, be it Selena, be it Sam, be it Ollie, whoever you're connected to here, okay? You're going to do a consult with them, right? They can support you, 20 minutes free consult. And then you can ask all the questions and talk about whether or not, because it might not be a fit, right? Quite yet, or maybe later, or whatever. Yeah, I think it's, yes, strategy. Anyway, can we just make sure that link works? I've never seen this link before. Okay, maybe I created it and I forgot. Anyway, I'm sure it does. Okay, cool. So yes, schedule the free consult and talk with your advisor, be it Selena, excuse me, Melissa or Jay or Sam and Ollie, and talk with them about, what your situation is, what you're trying to create, and what hasn't worked. So you guys can figure out, okay, would our program be a fit for you? And you can get ahead of the line. Like I said, we already have a couple people on the wait list for the next launch. And I'm really, really excited to just, get to know you and learn about you. I'm going to work with them in the background to see like what strategies you would need for your business. But anyway, for the rest of you, I'm so excited for the retreat coming up. Go and connect with your advisor. Connect with them now, okay? Because you're going to want to really think about this is why I did this session today. I really want you getting some clarity on your group program before session 1. So you have your juices flowing and you're really thinking about who do I want to serve? How many people do I want to serve? Do you want to serve 30 or 300, right? Because then your advisor in this group can help you customize what the trajectory is going to be like for you. How many retreats are you going to be doing? How many people are you going to be filling them with? What's your price point? Okay? So they can help you customize this, but I want you to get your juices flowing. So make sure you connect it to your person. If there's anybody who's listening to this who is not registered to the retreat, go and register. If there's anybody who doesn't have the advisor, go ahead and type in, I need an advisor, and we're gonna hook you up with somebody. Okay, so it's been a pleasure today. I'm going to be live again next week. I'm not sure what the topic is. We're probably going to be talking about scaling with a team or something like that, which is one of my favorite topics. I can't wait to see you guys. Today's was a little bit delayed. Next week, we're back on schedule with, I think, 1 p.m. Eastern or something like that, regular showtime. Today, we're a little bit delayed because of the scale of workshop in progress. Really appreciative of everybody being here. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for being here live. And I will see you guys either on the calls or I'm going to see you next week's live or in the retreat in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.